we go, game number 3. Yeah, let's get it started.
Look at those angles.
Yeah.
He should be an addition to the pentakill band. You know, Metal does use cowbells every once in a while.
You see the beat he's got going on? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Let's get it started down in the bot lane.
We need to be handing out cowbells to the fans
when
it
yeah,
comes to a stadium
definitely
event
what we need.
And start cheering that way. Give him plastic cowbells.
Remember what happened with
crazy.
the Vuvuzelas?
What's wrong with the Vuvuzelas?
It was a little bit annoying. Just a little bit. That was the World Cup, right? A while back?
I think it was the South Africa Soccer World Cup. Wasn't there a World Cup there?
Yeah, was it like 2008, maybe? Because I remember it was a while ago, and I wasn't like super old. I was still a teenager. 17 at the time, 2008.
You really remember Vuvuzelas.
It had a large impact on my life, you know? It was a big thing on the internet for a while. It was the meme of its time.
I was not acquainted with memes when I was 17.
Really?
Yeah.
But were you not playing League at that time?
Not really.
I guess, was League out then? No, it wasn't. It came out in 2010, right?
Yeah.
League? Okay, hold that thought. We got a early gank, and Crazy, he's going to try to pull off the moves, try to pull off a little bit of that Renekton play. He is going to get onto that blasting plan, but Blank is on the chase. Here's Tempt, but actually Huni cannot get in position, so Crazy with the big escape once again.
That was a level 2 Sejuani ganking. Like, wow, how often do you get to see that happen? Goes red to blue to top side of the map. And that puts him already in the precedent against Bless, who is now level 3, gets to farm happily, and that's not what you expect to see out of the Boar Lady. Bristle typically takes a little bit longer to deal enough damage to be a significant threat with Arctic Assault, as well as the Glacial Prison.
Bless even challenging Blank here. Going to put down a ward, and it looks like they want to go 2v1. Blank coming around the right side, but good read.
Look at a Wolf.
Yeah, Wolf's making his way over too, but he is spotted out. Blasting plants.
He's showing off.
Look at that damage onto Wolf, though. Down to about 50, 100 health there.
I'm glad that Bless did not take that blast cone over the wall, that he made sure that he stays on this side, because bottom lane has a big advantage. They need to continue the pressure onto these lanes. Otherwise, the early gank that Blank went for becomes actually worth it.
Yeah, look at this. He's getting in there, stealing down to the big, or no, that was actually Blank. My bad. Just cleaning up the scraps. Bless will make his way out. We got very low members in the mid lane as Faker using the last of his mana to survive against a bit of that burst damage from Tempt.
But he's been farming great, so he doesn't have much to do here besides just sitting in the tower, DPS and some minions, and as long as the junglers remain active, there's not going to be kill pressure onto any one of these members. They might be looking for Faker without his heal available, so this could be Bless's early game once again coming to fruition.
This is going to be hard to make work. They need to have Gragas tanking this up. And here we go. Oh, the minion blocked it! Oh, that's a bit embarrassing. Bless now just going to slow down Faker and awkwardly walk out of that one.
That's the Santa Claus that's too fat to slide down the chimney. He's like, oh, God. Doesn't give any gifts, just leave some half-eaten cookies.
Your chimney's too thin. The minions coming in, they're the real heroes in that one. Saving Faker's life from the start. Bang gonna get locked down once again, but the cow is angry. You don't want to see him when he's angry. Push them away. just a bit of trading. No kills coming out here just yet.
Farm relatively even everywhere in the jungle and mid, but the advantages that are building in the polar opposites of the map are going to be apparent, as now Ghost is already 10 CS up and the Maokai has a difficult time against the relentless push of Crazy. So BBQ have a lot going on for them in these side lanes. However, because the map is split up with these advantages, Bless will be having to make the choice of where to gank. Now, the obvious choice is you go to the bottom side of the map. You've got a Rumble, you can help him out. It's easy to execute. Maokai a lot harder to kill now that Spectre's Cowl is up. But if he were to go topside, it'll almost certainly be seen as a mistake. So we expect BBQ to be communicating how important it is for them to go to the bottom side of the map and take advantage of the damage and CS that Totoro and Ghost have put onto SKT.
That was some good CSing under turret, good communication from Bang and Wolf, making that one look a little bit easier than it actually was. Got the majority of those one. Still a little bit behind compared to Ghost, but the Ghost-Totoro combination on the Lovers duo in the bot lane is doing well so far. You'll notice we've had the camera down here for quite a while. We've been there for about a minute. Finally, we're going to get to switch it up. So blue buff being handed over to Tempt. You guys can see all of this.
We're just snooping on a couple's relationship. It's like they're YouTubers talking about their marriage. Yeah, we fight sometimes. Maybe not all the time between ourselves, but here comes Bless. He's got flash. Bang does not have jump.
Okay, here we go. Bang with his own flash. Nice dodge. And Wolf going to flash in and ground pound himself. So a failed gank after all, but they do get 2 of the flashes away from that bottom side of SKT.
That was beautiful to watch how both SKT members responded. Bang flashing immediately, knowing that Bless was going for the flash himself. And then Wolf taking the flash, and then with the pulverized flash. We know that you can pulverize and flash again. You buffer it, so that mechanic is one of the most fun to use when you're playing in solo queue. So many members just don't expect that you can pull that off, and when you do, you always hit the headbutt behind them and guarantee yourself a kill.
Oh, get back to the mid lane. Okay, here we go. That flash coming out, but Tempt is on the chase, looking for a solo kill. So close.
Look at Rakan, look at Soto, he's a flash.
Oh, but Blank is here. Looks like he should be denied. Okay, Blank is going to keep him alive. And Totoro just hopping away. But Faker once again having trouble against Tempt. On the blue side was Kassadin versus the Taliyah in game 1. This time it's Orianna versus Lucian.
Well, he's got Ignite, so Lucian has a lot of kill pressure here, but wisely does Bless go for an Invader. They're going to go for bottom again.
Okay, there's no summoners. They force that ultimate away from Wolf. Though Totoro does trade his own. They do not commit to it just yet.
With the denial on blue buff, I think BBQ have an opportunity to go into the mid lane again. There is a Cutlass onto Tempt that can make it a little easier for Bless to get this gank off, even though his flash isn't available. But with Cask, heal, and flash nowhere in sight for Faker, BBQ can have a great opportunity mid, but being off by bottom.
Wolf, he doesn't have anything. The feathers are out. He's looking for that pullback. There it is with the flash and first blood. Ghost gonna pick that up with the help of Totoro. Nicely done.
BBQ's bottom lane have been smashing SKTs all series long. They have been winning these lanes, just getting as many advantages as they can, and now, even though CS is in the favor of SKT, they get that first blood, and that's huge because Totoro still has flash. That means they have more opportunities to go for more plays. Even though that last one was orchestrated by the ultimate from Ghost, now they can just retort and use the one from Totoro.
Okay, before we had Blank here in the mid lane, this time it's Bless, and Faker with no flash. There's the perfect Cask, and the Shockwave is going to hit Tempt, though. Will he have the stash up in time? 2 seconds will do it, but the Sejuani ult comes out. Doesn't hit Tempt. Here's Totoro from the bot lane. There it is. Faker is going to go down, and now Blank in a lot of trouble. Pulverize is only going to hit 2 of them, and here's Tempt with the double hit, but Blank does get away. Now they're on the chase here for Wolf, who does headbutt into the Raptors. Still looking for that slowdown, not going to follow up. So just one kill onto Faker. Blank got pretty low though.
And this is SKT just thinking that they can respond with a counter attack onto this play. But this is a Sejuani Orianna. They have no business fighting Gragas and Lucian at this stage in the game. So they get bopped and just clean right away. What the play should have been is Blank just goes up and helps Faker clean out the minion wave. You push, you back off, you go for the jungle. Instead, they're just baiting. Sejuani was previously waiting in the wings for this play. So the second that Bless shows up, I mean, Faker's not even playing to the right side of the map where they have vision. They make it all too easy for Bless. And now the ultimate gets used. What would have been the playmaking move for SKT gets used defensively. The equivalent of seeing a Shen ult used to save somebody, and just barely does Blank make it out by Wolf's reaction to help out Bristle. It's just a humanitarian in Wolf. Doesn't want to see, cows don't want to see boars get killed.
Animal friendly here on the side of SKT.
Animals being bros.
Yeah. I love that subreddit.
I don't. I like nature is metal.
Nature is effing lit. That's another good one. Pretty much anything with animals is pretty entertaining.
No, there's a lot. No, no, especially not on there. There is a little bit more than meets the eye when it comes to anything with animals.
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't really delve that deep as you do, Crumbs, but to each his own.
Don't put me in that same boat, man.
Bless coming in here, trying to make things interesting with a red buff steal, even using the cask. This is my red buff, says Bless. Get the hell out of here. And, well, he's not going to have that cask now, and he will just walk away with his prize.
They're being so aggressive. I love it. BBQ taking full advantage of what they have at their disposal. And SKT don't have a response here. There's too much pressure onto the map, and this is why Sejuani is just not that good of a jungler right now. Her ultimate half the time whiffs. You can get a QSS to avoid it. Her early game isn't that great. And I've been preaching Gragas for a long, and now Faker in trouble.
Oh, so close. He gets down to about 200 health. But again, he doesn't need the kill attempt. He has both of his summoners available. He's putting on incredible pressure in that mid lane, and you can see the follow-up. They're going to push this one in and begin to lay down some damage. Crazy making his way down. Blank, he cannot stop this. This is looking like first blood for BBQ.
This is so well orchestrated. You even have the support roaming in straight to mid lane after recalling. So it's all one well-oiled machine. I guess one well-oiled chicken. That's olive oil for you right there. That's what makes the difference with BBQ.
That chicken's oiled up and ready to go. Looking slick in this game. Meanwhile, Ghost won a trade in bottom side up against Bang 1v1. So more domination there. Doesn't really show itself in the CS as it is relatively even. Just one kill going over to Ghost so far. But already that gold lead coming in for BBQ, 3,000 ahead. That first Drake is the Mountain Drake. They are going to have this early lead to try to transition into something like that. This may have been SKT's moment to go for that, but you could see that Blank did go for his own recall, so will not be able to do it.
SKT have to be careful if they want to go for the dragon. Look at the vision. This is basically a connect the dots sketchbook from BBQ on the right side of the map, especially in the river. So going in here undetected would be next to impossible for SKT. And they have to be even more cautious now that Crazy does have his Leandris completed and will be able to teleport at a almost, now he is, level 11 Rumble.
Okay, here we go. Level 10 Huni on that Maokai. Hasn't hit it just yet. He's meanwhile putting vision down in the red side jungle of BBQ. And SKT, they fought hard, they fought well for vision around that Drake, and they do have the majority of it right now. Did pick up that Rift Scuttler at the same time. So they do own this part of the river for now. Bit of a fight, and here we go once again. I mean, Temps is just going ham on this. The Ignite comes out, and that's a solo kill this time around. I wasn't even watching that. I was surprised looking at the junglers fighting, and then I looked to the left, and all of a sudden, Faker's going down. So a solo kill here, and now it's 5v4. And BBQ, this should be an easy pickup on the Drake if that's what they want.
Even though the shockwave hits, Temp still picks up the kill. The ignite, the strength that Lucian has right now in this matchup is too much for Faker to handle. And this is just what happens when you leave the Lucian alone for the 1v1. This is an indication of what we'll get to see later in the game, where a 1-4 is induced by BBQ, exactly like what SKT was doing in the previous game. So we're going to look at it again. The second that the dissonance gets used on the creep wave, he dashes in and sure, it connects, but the angle of the culling is great, predicts a bit of where Faker's going to flash, so he ends up getting hit on it. And best of all was Totoro there to save Lucian's life by making sure that the knockup is there and that Bang can't flash in to get more autos and maybe finish him off with a buster shot.
Fantastic team play overall from the side of BBQ to follow that one up, as you did say. But now we got a 2-0 Lucian in the mid lane. Tempt, he has just been all over Faker in this series. And I remember an interview, I don't remember exactly who said it, but they ranked Tempt very high in terms of mid laners.
That was Septed from Ever in week 1, though. So back then he had a lot more credit to his word. Unfortunately, now the position that Ever is in did take away some of that validity, but Tempt has been a pretty solid player, even though BBQ have been at the bottom of the scoreboard. Yeah,
he has the most MVP points for his team, and even though Faker isn't having the most fantastic end of summer, you know, no arguing with that one for sure. Tempt is still going head-to-head with this guy who is known as the best League of Legends player in the world. So props to him making this work. SKT, meanwhile, as we were talking about that mid lane matchup, was able to sneak away the Rift Herald. Did go over to Blank, just able to solo that one out. Now they're trying to look for a bit of a dive onto Huni and Blank here. Going to be a 2v2 for now, but you can see Tempt is making his way. Nice wave clear. And they're really making this one count. They're going to proxy this. Bless is going to try to clear out as much as possible. It looks like he's going to back away now. Okay, here we go. Another one. The shockwave will come out, but here's the culling again, and Faker goes low. No more mana. He will exit the lane. Okay, here we go. Now they're looking for the dive. Okay, never mind. The barrel comes out. Okay, now they're looking for the dive. Never mind. Just trading a little bit. Best play-by-play, you'll see. But, yeah, just pushing them away from that turret. And now with Tempt coming up, they should be able to put immense pressure down, as it's only Huni that has stuck around.
He's got Merc Tread, so he's not going to be in danger. And not sure what SKT tries to do here in defending this one, because Orianna is far from collapsing.
Okay, they do defend it, though, using pretty much everything that Huni had at his disposal. At the same time, Bless did get pretty low. He's just going to walk away from this one.
I guess they really didn't want to drop that tower. They do blow many of their important cooldowns on it, but we got to tune back onto the mid lane as Totoro approaches Faker, who still doesn't have flash or heal.
Here we go again. This guy is just out of control. Down he's going to go easy peasy. The shockwave coming through, but he saves his dash. And that's going to mean another kill. 3-0 now is the Lucian.
He's basically channeling old school Marin that would just stay as overextended as possible, pushing as much as he can. That's a 0-3-0 Orianna. Not a single assist or kill under his belt, whereas Tempt is already just so damn strong. I mean, you can't really give him more kills than this at this point. All three have been Faker.
Yeah. Here's where I wish we could get the player cam zoom in as Faker goes down to his third kill. We get to zoom in onto his face.
No emotion, guaranteed.
Yeah, probably. We've seen him mouth some stuff to himself in the booth from time to time. And the way this series has been going, he has had pretty much no luck in the mid lane against Tempt. Not something I would have expected to be saying about this matchup. And here's Bless now, looking to make his life even harder. Faker does have flash, but so does Bless.
Will he overextend?
They see where he's going. Okay, the ball's going to check it out, and he spots out Bless. Faker knows that he's got a target on his back.
Had Bless had a ward to place over the wall, I'm sure he would not have hesitated in going on Faker.
Okay, the Dragon is started up. They do have those feathers doing a nice bit of damage already, but the TP coming in. And a great engage from Wolf. There's that Sejuani ult. Just going to hit Tempt in the backline. He's been CC'd for so long. The Shockwave, though, is going to miss. Bang and Faker getting low themselves, but finally Ghost. He is going to get taken out. Bang, he's going in for that kill. A double for the Maokai. Now they're looking for Crazy. Nice combo here from Wolf. Looking to dive that turret, but here comes Bless. He doesn't have much mana. Gonna smite the blue and take out Faker. That's a 4th death for Faker in the midst of this entire one, but Crazy will go down as well. In the end, a good trade for SKT, even if it does mean it's at Faker's expense.
Oh, Faker got bopped in the head right at the end with the cast, so no to the blue buff steal, but it all started with a Baron, and they can 2v3 this. Oh, they can easily win this.
Okay, I mean, they got this incredibly fed Lucian. It looks like for now they're just trying to stop the push. Although, as I say that, they're on the chase. The culling coming out. Huni going extremely low. Wolf trying to be the hero, pushing away Tempt, but now he's taking damage. Looks like he's going to sacrifice himself to get Tempt out of the fight, and that's pretty smart. But can he get him fully out of the fight as the chase is still coming on? Here comes Totoro. Okay, it's going to end here. Although, as I say that, with Moby Boots is Totoro. They'll at least look to take down this turret, and SKT is sticking around. Huni getting more and more healthy on that Maokai, and here comes Faker. They will engage, and there's that Sejuani ult once again. Fantastic cast to get Faker out of the fight. The dash, though, is going to go wide, and Bless will go down, and so will Tempt. It's going to be close, though. Here comes Faker, and it looks like that sapling from the bush is going to take him out in the end one.
The surprise kitten that ends up taking down Tempt. That's a 4-0-1 Maokai now, and that was a crazy series of events that started from BBQ, starting that Dragon, but not being fully ready for it. SKT had more vision to allow the collapse and the teleport from Huni to happen, but BBQ did not. Rumble teleported in so far away that it just did not make a difference when it counted. So Wolf is just going to proc the blast count, get to safety here. Not much will come of it, whereas SKT walk away with that bottom tier 1. Dragon still intact, and even though Faker's 0-4-0 and we criticize how often he was getting caught out, he still finds a way to be relevant. That's what you want to see out of players. That's what makes the difference. So we're going to look at it again. We know that the second that SKT approaches and Mar and Huni's facing that the teleport is coming out. And while Xayah gets to dodge out of the combo, the stun has already locked down Tempt. There's so much damage, and you wish that an equalizer was available here, but it was a bit too late. The carries were already out of position. Bang already had the reset. And even though they chase Rumble, Faker, his greed knows no limits, as we don't get to see it, but Gragas did walk up to him, flash, and hit him in the dome.
Yeah, smited away the blue too, to add insult to injury. Would have stolen it anyway, but wanted to make sure he took that out. So after all of that fighting, that seemed like a never-ending fight that went down on in the bot lane, we do have another one coming out as Tempt pushes Blank away, but BBQ about 300 gold ahead. This Mountain Drake still has not been taken by either team. Still no Drakes here. 24 minutes into this game, even with that very valuable Mountain.
SKT will be the one that approaches this Mountain and likely will take it, as Huni decided to sacrifice a top tier 1, which was already one hit away from the previous commitment that Bless and Crazy did in the top side of the map. So they should have known that this Dragon was going to drop, and instead they only get a tower in response that was likely to drop. But BBQ, they're strong enough to win these fights, but they need to take better precautions when it comes to setting up the vision, prioritizing the lanes, making sure that they're in the right place at the right time and that they combo abilities together. Otherwise, they will fall at the hands of SKT time and time again.
It's kind of an interesting play that went on the map. They give away that Mountain Drake away, but they take down 2 turrets, even forcing out the Maokai ultimate at the end of it all.
It's like a trade for just one, though, because of how low that top tier 1 was. When you're in the game, you don't see it as a gold investment. You see it as a time commitment. So they already recognize that BBQ will have to commit to the top side of the map to finish that tower off, and they're willing to trade that one off to the bottom side. Rather, at the top side, the minions were already going to take that down, so it didn't really matter if you gave that up. they are okay with just giving up the bottom tower and go for the dragon, because after all, post 20 minutes, being in the bottom side of the map, if you don't have teleport, is likely the trigger for the opposite team to start the Baron in your face. So they don't have a problem going with that trade, and now if SKT find themselves with enough time around the Baron, they can easily take it themselves.
See lots of vision being set up already, but unfortunately the recall out of Bang means that BBQ will retake that vision with a bunch of their own control wards. Faker hanging by with the blue buff. SKT waiting in the wings, seeing if they can get anyone. Actually spotting out that Lovers duo going bottom lane. And you can see Bless even forced to flash away from this one. Will he make it out with his life is really the question. The TP coming in, they're looking to trade this one. Here comes Totoro, looking for that engage. The quickness coming in, the equalizer goes wide, but they get two with the cast. They need to take out one of these members. Blank getting low. Shockwave is going to take down Tempt to a pretty low number. Huni trying to lock him down forever, and he is extremely tanky. Finally going to get shot down, or locked down, and he does not actually die. So no kills, lots of ultimates and summoners blown on both sides.
That appeared to be SKT that was going to walk away with a huge advantage there as soon as Crazy committed to that teleport. But luckily the flask from Bless was huge as it dispersed Faker far and brought the tanks closer so that they still had enough damage. They do get this tier 2, and Tempt is pushing the tier 1, so I don't think that they're going to be able to stay too long on this one, as Lucian will have to be accounted for. So overall, not much gets happened besides the teleports, and the vision still remains in BBQ's favor on the Baron side. But what are they willing to do with this? Are they gonna try to rush this out?
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, they are.
I was gonna say it. This is the sickest time because Faker, he just recalled. He committed to it. Okay, they're not gonna go for it, but they were thinking about it. They had some room. It would have been a very risky play, no doubt.
They're not the ones with that mountain dragon. They can't just say, we can rush it in the face of our opponents while their mid laner arrives. So they back away, and Rumble wasn't even there. So it was an opportunity to just test the waters. You see what happens, but you know that it's not going to truly get you the objective.
We finally have a blue side team that's in a decent position in this game. So finally we see fights over the vision in the red side jungle. Something we haven't had the luxury of watching for the first 2 games of this one. Oh, Bless actually takes Huni over the wall, and this means Tempt can get a bit of free damage onto him. And the cask even coming down, they're committing to this one just a bit. Huni does get taken down. Crazy still with the equalizer. They were certainly thinking about committing there.
Bless does not have enough mana to stay in a fight for that long, especially when the fight starts with him. And he's not going to be able to do much more afterwards. And Tristana wasn't there, so the fight was too spread out for any team to want to commit to that one. And while the itemization from BBQ is starting to get nice, you get triple items, they're going to have to farm for a bit more gold now, because SKT is going to get a hell of a lot more tanky. The Stone Plate is about to come through for Blank. Huni already has the Warden's Mail, which will be that bristle, that Thorn Mail coming through later on. And then you have Alistar that already has his Glacial Shroud, so they need armor penetration and they need it fast. Otherwise the compositions and the way they play the fights will have to be so elusive in avoiding the tanks and making sure that they can stick onto Bang and Faker, who at least Faker doesn't have flash, so that's a viable target. But for Bang, that's a lot tougher.
He's pretty set up in this moment in time, once again on the Tristana. Funny that he keeps getting it in some of these games. We've seen that Tristana go up in priority in these draft phases quite a lot. You can see that SKT do love themselves some Tristana. So BBQ just trying to poke down, get some vision of their own around the Baron side. They do have position there for now. They're not too far ahead, just about 800 gold at this point in time, as we do cross the 30-minute mark in game number 3. Mountain Drake number 2 is going to be spawning in about 13 seconds as well, so we'll see if either team wants to make a move towards that objective.
The Dragon is a trap right now. You can only move to it if you have enough pressure in your lanes as well as vision. So because they have pressure bottom side, they are okay with doing this. But imagine if SKT were the ones to start this Dragon off. They would have been in a wealth of trouble when it comes to defending whatever BBQ would have responded with. And so they split themselves up again, akin to game 1 where SKT was 2-manning, or rather game 2 where SKT was 2-manning the Baron, but by moving for the Dragon, they do give up position in the Baron. So SKT gets to reclaim that vision, but at least now, if the opportunity arises where, say, Faker or Bang gets to recall or they get a pick off, they have a much higher chance to take that Baron down quickly because of the mountain.
Yeah, it's going to be a race for that Baron. You wouldn't think you would find yourself here, SKT versus BBQ in game number 3 with the gold basically exactly even. But that is the position that we're in right now, guys. So strap yourselves in. We got a close one. See that Tristana's beginning to pop off. Crits are coming in, and she's getting that higher range as she's now hit level 16 already at 31 minutes.
BBQ will be giving up mid-tier 2. They have some pressure top, as Lucian did push for that one, but BBQ need to get in a position where they respond. Totoro is there. He's looking for it, but nobody else is nearby, and SKT just is taking whatever they want. Without any effort whatsoever, they just push mid, take bottom tower. Now granted, that turret was a lot lower from that crazy chase that we saw about 10 minutes ago where Faker got to bounce back and push the wave up to the tier 2 and do some serious harm onto BBQ's inner tower. So we don't want to be fooled into thinking that it was Huni single-handedly taking down that tower.
Crazy, showing the respect. Didn't want to get himself locked up into a fight. Knows the amount of CC that the Maokai has, just in case someone else from SKT was there. The Rumble, not the tankiest top laner we've ever seen. Okay, they're going to start it. Here we go, that Mountain Drake. You can see Faker's trying to poke on in. It looks like they know.
TP's in.
Yeah, TP coming in, and BBQ, they're going to turn, but SKT will successfully disengage. And in fact, going back on the Ghost, banging a good spot, and Huni looking to lock him up from behind. Tempt is in a lot of trouble. He's going to get hit by 2 ultimates, and down he will go. That is a huge pick right now for SKT, and the rest of BBQ will be on the run. They take out Tempt, that fed Lucian, and now they have control of this game.
It looked like maybe they wanted to just get the teleport out, but they did not expect Huni to have such a great position, and the ultimate put such an emphasis on SKT wanting to take that fight, and BBQ just scattered. They have no idea what to do after that big ultimate comes out, and then the other side has a Wolf with ultimate available, so they had no choice but to retreat, and they're lucky that they only lost 1 member in that exchange, and Ghost didn't even burn his flash to survive that fight, so at least they get to teleport. But what will they do next? They have to respond to SKT starting this. They have a steal threat, but Wolf will be trying to stop Bless.
You see Bless, he knows the position here. He's trying to come around the top side. But Wolf, they have full vision of Bless right now. They're going to engage, actually, onto Wolf. But look at that burst damage coming out of the Tristana. It's going to be enough. Even if Wolf trades his life, that is pretty nice. Able to take out Totoro for that counter engage. Wolf does go down. Bless still looking for it, but the Buster Shot comes out and gets him out of range. That Baron will go down to Tristana in the end of it all.
So incredibly obnoxious when you have so many tools to stop the engagement. I gotta say, what was Bless doing in that one? He could have actually dropped the control ward on him to make sure that Tristana would not have sight of him going for that engage. So questionable attempt on these Baron steals from BBQ. And we're gonna look at the fight again. Even though he flashed out of the Twisted Advance, the point and click was already too much. And they get to just walk away with their lives right at the end, but they lost the Baron. And I think that's been the most underwhelming aspect of some of these LCK matches. Teams going for Baron steals, taking absolutely no precautions into how to do so properly.
Yeah, I know you definitely find some moments where the junglers are trying to dash in instead of flash. They don't fully commit. And hold that thought. Okay, Totoro's being bursted down. That's going to be very, very close. Down he goes. Now Ghost is getting low. One more crit. He's going to go down. Can we have another one? crazy on the chase here. The equalizer looking to trade back, but it's definitely not enough. Zonius can only save you for so much. And in the back line, Tempt is going to get caught. The taunt, it doesn't look like it will come down, the stun rather, and Tempt will live, but that's 3 kills. Nice setup by Bang.
And Bang could have just connected to the game right now, and that series of plays will absolutely earn him MVP for this game. So SKT will now be pushing to end the game, and what an anticlimactic end to this grueling series where 3 members get picked up by a lone Bang, and now the game is all SKT's.
Yeah, Tempt's trying to be a hero here, but I'm sorry, sir. Doesn't matter how fed you are, you cannot go 1v5. And down he does go. So SKT, it was a bit bumpy, especially in game number 1. We weren't expecting them to take that loss, but they do close out in the end, and they do take the series 2-1.
That was really the least expected ending that could have happened. Bang 1v3s. I guess 3 1v1s in a row, if you put it that way, but